Okay, I want to talk about, I would like to address the things that are going on in the nation and around the world sometimes, and have been going on since the earth was created, really. Um, you get ups and downs, you've got media, you've got Pharisees, you've got all kinds of different influences that are weighing down on you in the midst of the rest of your life. You're a flower. You're like a flower, okay? Now, you'll see what I mean soon. One of my favorite poets, Alfred Tennyson, he wrote a poem and it was called The Flower. All right? Now, I'm going to read it to you. Now, this has to do with Black Lives Matter, white privilege. You can go back to the Chaldeans, and then you've got the chosen people, they said, and maybe they were, I don't know. There's a bunch of a philosophical debate going on here. And then you've got, all the different cultures that have come and gone. Pharaoh had one idea, and, it just never ends, man. But it's simple, all right? Each of you out there are some kind of a breed of flower, let's say, or a breed, I don't know what you want to say, a variety. So one moment in history you're a weed, and another moment in history you're glorious. And then it all goes and changes around again, like James Dean said. There you go. You say one thing, he says another, and everybody changes back again. I've had enough of it. We're human beings. It doesn't matter. My skin color happens to be white. I got 100% sub-Saharan black African woman in my blood. You wouldn't see it. Somebody want to brick me to death on the goddamn road. Okay? That's ignorant. I had a great talk with a black gentleman. And I only say black because you have to differentiate, because I can actually see. If you were blind, you wouldn't know, would you? A wonderful individual. His soul is good. I saw another lady that happened to have dark skin color, and what she was doing today on my commute home was awesome. Okay? We're children of God. That's all there is to it. But anyway, here's the flower. Alfred Tennyson wrote this. Now, just think of the Creator as looking down and being, kind of like in the flower that you are, or the flower that I might be in. I'm not trying to make it a weird thing, but let's personify the flower as you or I. Let's go there. Once in a golden hour, I cast to earth a seed. Up there came a flower. The people said, a weed. That was the predominance of the time, right? Okay, to and fro they went, through my garden bower, and muttering discontent, cursed me and my flower. Then it grew so tall. It wore a crown of light, but thieves from over the wall stole the seed by night. They sowed it far and wide, by every town and tower, till all the people cried, splendid is the flower. There you go with the crowd and whatever's popular at the time, right? That's my commentary I'm adding here and there. Read my little fable, he that runs may read. Most can raise the flowers now, for all have got the seed. And some are pretty enough, and some are poor indeed, just like people. Good and bad. And now again, the people call it but a weed. Okay, so I'm getting to a point here. So let's just think of ourselves as a wandering through the wilderness. And you look, and there's a flower. Maybe you're partial to that particular weed or plant. Who defines weeds anyway? Who defines what you are? Who defines what I am? Okay, I kind of like these, and I like those. Another person walks too. Those are pretty enough. I like these. But they're all vital. Just like you, and just like me. Okay? And I think that's what prompted Dr. Martin Luther King to say what he said in his I Have a Dream speech, and I'm going to read it now. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Now, in order to prove one point in another, depending on the generation, white, black, yellow, whatever it is, it's all still a destruction of King's dream. He was a great man, you know. And then I see what's going on. We got Seattle and all these other places, and oddly enough, they're open borders, but the first thing they do in that Seattle area they call the Chaz is build a wall and set up guards. I can't figure it out. Okay. It goes round and round and round, doesn't it? All right? But Jesus said, here's another thing. And unto him that smiteth thee on the one cheek, offer also the other. And him that taketh away thy cloak, forbid not to take thy coat also. In other words, if somebody hits you on one side of your face, all right, go ahead, do it again. You just stole my coat here. Have my shirt too. That's a hard thing for people like me, and most people. But it's kind of showing that, it's showing us something we're not getting now. It's something deeper than all this BS. Throughout the course of history. But and then you got John Henry, which is one of the reasons that I still go today, is that Ballad of John Henry. There were three three potential real John Henrys. I've read the history of it. So he existed, whoever he was. Maybe he's a molding of all three. But the folk songs came, and the tenacity, and we're not going to let anything beat us down. We're going to do it right. And ain't no machine. That guy brought the machine around. Machine ain't going to beat me down. And that don't matter whether you black, white, whatever. You're either going to be beaten down because you go with the masses and mind control and all this stuff, or you're going to think for yourself. And that's machine coming around and trying to mess with us. Now it's kind of a virtual machine and a news machine and everything else. You ain't going to let no machine beat me, because I'm not going to be a pawn to the machine. I'm going to beat that machine down. And John Henry, he died doing it, but he did it, by God. Okay? And then, you got statues of our a certain recent past coming down, and everybody's, it reminds me of other things. Man, George Santayana said it, man. Those who are forget history are doomed to repeat it. Basically, what was the actual quote? I had it written down. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. So just erase it, and everything will be rosy, right? If there's anything in there that needs to be erased, all men are not bad or fully bad, and all men are not good or fully good. It's idiocy. It's like Hitler burning books. What's the difference? And then they what they do, they apply to and they, who is they? They, me, us. We've all done it in one extent or another. It's got to stop, man. But let's go back to that flower, the Tennyson poem. This is the last thing, man. Flowers again. You can think of those as you and I, and people that are somehow elevated to a higher standard. In this instance, it was Solomon, who was the wisest man that ever lived, probably. Honestly, he probably was. But Jesus did say, consider the lilies, how they grow. They toil not, they spin not. And yet I say unto you, Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Flowers. Just to use an analogy. In other words, your life is like a bloom. My life's like a bloom. And everybody else's. And everything that, we get upset when there's injustice against another flower, as it were. A bloom. Yeah, things happen. I mean, what sparked a lot of this, or what a lot of people use to get in there and and sometimes funded to get the masses of flowers to rise up. It's just like that Rush song, The Trees. There is unrest in the forest, there is trouble with the trees. The maples and the oaks were fighting amongst themselves, and in the end, it was a hatchet that took them all down. While they were busy fighting, when they didn't realize they were brothers and sisters, man. That's all I want to say. I don't know if it is going to get through to anybody, but I've got a, I'm just doing this quick because I work all the time. I don't have much time. But it's important to just kind of throw an idea out, and if it's like throwing seeds. Some fell among good soil, some fell among rocks or thorns, got choked out. I don't know. I'm not perfect. I'm not sitting here preaching to you. I'm telling you, I'm a human being, another bloom or blossom like you, and you come from a little baby that has all potential in the world to what? You, me. So much room for improvement. And you look around the world and we do this. Let's a moment of pause and reflection, in my opinion, has been in order since the world began. Let's try to do that. And let's work together. Because really, we're all brothers and sisters. And I was a prodigal son, by God. Come a long way. There was times I could have been shot. I could have been killed. But for the grace of God, I'm still here. I could go on with stories, but let's just try to get together. And respect our differences. Alright? That's all I'm saying. It's just my opinion, man. That's all I'm saying.